I work as a tour guide in Hong Kong, and I've had a few scary experiences with the supernatural over the years. I would say the most frightening place for me is Malaysia. I operate tours from Hong Kong to Malaysia frequently. There was one trip that I led which was a 5-day, 4-night tour. I will always remember this trip. It was a pretty full trip with about 15 customers. I won't name this particular hotel in Malaysia, but it's quite a popular hotel for tour groups due to its great price. The first day we arrive, I go about my usual duties. I go to the front desk and check in for all of the guests. Then I pass the hotel key cards to all of the guests, and we all went up to our rooms. I usually don't go up right away. I wait in the lobby for a bit for all the tour members to go up first. Then I start heading up with the bellboy. He was bringing all the luggage up for the guests. The reason I do this is because as the bellboy drops the luggage off to all the rooms, I can just follow behind the bellboy and check with all the guests to see if they had any issues with their rooms. This was two birds with one stone. The guests would get their luggage and let me know if there were any issues with the room at the same time. Most of the time, the guests would say yes, everything is fine, take their luggage, and then go back to settling into their room. But some of them would sometimes have questions about the room, so I would have to hang back a bit and answer their questions. This would cause some minor delays on my side, so the bellboy would usually go on without me to drop the rest of the luggage off. This means I would usually fall behind the bellboy. After answering one of the guests' questions about how to work the outlet in the room, I noticed that the bellboy was already all the way down the hall. As I was catching up to the bellboy, he was already coming back as I was reaching the last room. I finished up checking in with the last guests, and I started heading back to the elevator to return to my own room. This is a normal looking 4-star hotel. As with many hotels, the hallways are really long with rooms on both sides. At the end of the hall is the elevator shaft. Next to the elevators, there is a large floor-to-ceiling mirror which reflects the hallway, making it look even longer than it really is. As I'm walking toward this elevator, something caught my eye by the elevators. I saw in the reflection a white figure that looked like a person was standing there, as if he or she was waiting for the elevator. As I walked closer and closer to the elevator, I still saw this figure standing there, not moving at all. I thought maybe the reflection is reflecting something that's in the hallway behind me. I turned to look around, but there was nothing there. I finally reached the elevator, and I was right next to the mirror now, but there was nothing there anymore. I thought this was pretty strange, but I wrote it off as me just being tired and I was probably just seeing things. I returned to my room and I forgot about this incident. Nothing weird happened to me during the rest of my stay, until a few days later, the morning of the 3rd day, when we were checking out of the hotel to head to a different part of Malaysia. It would be about a 4-hour bus ride to the next location, so we had to head out early that day. As all of the tour members were gathering in the lobby with their belongings, there was one tour member who attended with his wife. He looked exhausted, as if he hadn't slept for days. I stopped to speak with him, asking if he was feeling alright. He looked ill, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. He said, "Let's not talk about it here. Let's just speed it up and get into the bus and leave. I won't be getting off at any of the tourist attractions today. I need to catch up on some sleep because I did not sleep well these past few days." I thought this was pretty strange. This tour member was really eager to leave the hotel for some reason. I figured I'll check in with him again later on to see what the issue was. We all get into the bus, and we were on our way to the next city. When we finally arrived at the new hotel in this new city, I stopped in again to check in with our guests. I wanted to see how he was doing and what had happened to him in the last hotel. He finally told me what happened. So apparently, this guest has what the Chinese called yin-yang eyes, meaning he's able to see spirits on a regular basis. When he entered the room at the previous hotel, he noticed right away that there were two female spirits already inside the room, hiding behind the curtain near the floor lamp in the corner of the room. They were just hiding there the whole time, but they wouldn't come out until it was bedtime when all the lights were off. Once he and his wife were going to sleep, then they would come out, and they would just stand right there by his face, just staring. They didn't say a word, but they just crouched there, staring at him while he slept. The reason why he didn't want to talk about this in the morning was because one of the spirits followed them onto the bus as they were checking out and leaving. This particular guest sat behind me the whole bus ride. He sat inside by the window seat, and his wife sat on the aisle seat. I sat right in front of him in the window seat in the first row, and I left the aisle seat next to me empty. He said that the spirit kept talking to him the entire bus ride, so he barely got any sleep on the bus as well. He had no idea what the spirit was saying though, because she kept speaking Malaysian. The whole ride, he had to listen to her talk. He said she stopped a few times here and there, but most of the time, she was just talking and talking. I then asked him, "How did the spirit talk to you? Where was she?" He said, "Oh, she was sitting next to you the whole time in the empty seat."